Today, the ceiling moved. Anthropic has released the single most powerful artificial intelligence that the general public has ever been permitted to use. Its name is Claude Fable 5. And to understand why it matters, you have to understand the strange and careful way it arrived. Because Fable has a twin. Beneath the surface, Fable 5 is the very same model as something Anthropic calls Mythos 5. One mind, two names. Mythos is the raw, unguarded version, handed only to a small circle of trusted defenders. Fable is that same power, fitted with brakes, and handed to the rest of us. So what does Mythos class actually mean? It means a level of capability that, until today, Anthropic was not willing to release into the open at all. It is a deliberate line in the sand. The company decided this much power could finally go public, but only wearing a seatbelt. And the power is real. Fable 5 is state-of-the-art on nearly every serious benchmark we have, across software engineering, knowledge work, vision, and scientific research. The pattern is striking. The longer and harder the task, the further ahead of every other model it pulls. Take software. In early testing, one company handed Fable a codebase of 50 million lines and asked it to migrate the whole thing by hand. That is a job for a team of engineers working for over 2 months. Fable did it in a single day, on one of the toughest independent coding evaluations built to push frontier models to their limits. Fable scored the highest of them all. And here is the quiet part. It did that not at maximum strain, but at merely medium effort. It was not even trying its hardest. It is not just code. On a demanding benchmark for senior-level financial reasoning, the kind of judgment you would expect from a seasoned analyst, Fable posted the highest score of any model ever tested on it. The deep knowledge work, the expensive human expertise, it is rising to meet it. Then there is vision. Fable can look at a complex scientific chart and read the exact numbers straight off the figure. It can look at a screenshot of a web app and rebuild a working version of it from the picture alone. It does not just see images, it understands them. To show how far that site has come, the researchers pointed it at an old video game and let it play, using nothing but its eyes on the screen. Earlier models needed elaborate scaffolding and helper systems to manage that. Fable simply looked and won. And it does all of this while working on its own for longer than any Claude before it. It can hold a goal, take step after step after step, and stay on course through long, complex tasks without a human constantly steering. That endurance is the whole game for an autonomous agent. It is also more efficient with its words, solving coding problems while spending fewer tokens to get there. More capable, and at the same time leaner. That combination is exactly what you want, and it is rarer than it sounds. But now we arrive at the careful part. The reason for the two names. The reason for Fable and Mythos. Anthropic looked at this much raw capability and made a decision. Some of what this model can do is genuinely dangerous and should not simply be handed to anyone who asks. So they built 3 guardrails into Fable. One for cybersecurity, to refuse helping build cyberweapons. One for biology and chemistry, to refuse the most dangerous dual-use science. And one against distillation, to stop rivals from quietly stealing its capabilities to train their own models. And here is the elegant trick. When you brush up against one of those forbidden zones, Fable does not just slam a door in your face. It quietly steps aside and hands your question to a safer, well-established model, Claude Opus 4.8, which answers instead. The handoff is smooth, and most people will never see it. How often does that even happen? In more than 95% of all conversations with Fable, the brakes never touch at all. You get the full, unguarded power of the model. The safety net only appears in the rare moments it is actually needed. And these are not guardrails on paper. Before release, outside red teams spent over 1,000 hours attacking the model, trying every trick to break it open. They found no universal jailbreak, Against a battery of known attack techniques, not a single harmful request got through. The breaks hold. Its twin, Mythos, with some of those breaks removed, goes only to vetted cyberdefenders and a handful of researchers through a trusted access program. The idea is sharp. Put the unguarded power in the hands of the people defending us, while the public gets the same brilliance, safely. As for the rest, Fable runs at $10 per million words of input and $50 per million out, available right now to developers as Claude Fable 5. So step back and see what just happened. The most powerful public model in history did not arrive as a reckless gamble, and it did not stay locked away out of fear. It arrived as both at once. Staggering capability and built-in restraint walking through the door together. That is not the end of the story. That is what getting it right looks like. Welcome, once again, to AI for Laymen.